My name is Andy Pruna. I was born in Cuba, in Havana, and I came to the United States first as a young man to go to school, and then later as an exile. I started painting when I was a very young man. Um, I attended school in Cuba in art in La Escuela de San Alejandro in Havana, but did not finish that school because of the revolution. I then went to New York City, where I stayed for a couple of years, and there I attended the National Academy of Fine Arts, uh, where I had a scholarship. But frankly, my whole life has been traveling to different parts of the world and doing all sorts of jobs, including being a contract photographer with the National Geographic magazine. Um, I was in the Bay of Pigs invasion. I'm a veteran of the Vietnam War. Um, I was a officer in the United States Navy. I was involved in diving as the head of the underwater demolition teams in the Brigade 2506 for the Cuban invasion. I was later assigned to Team 21, underwater demolition teams in Little Creek, Virginia. Um, I was then part of the experimental diving unit in Washington, D.C., where I partook in the Man in the Sea program, Sea Lab 3. But interlaced with my adventures has always been painting, and to a certain degree, or to a big degree really, photography, both still and film. So now I've sort of come all the way around. I started in painting when I was a young man, and now I'm going back to painting. And it's a process that perhaps I should have started earlier, but for whatever reasons I never did. Um, and now I'm totally dedicated to it. It's my inspirations really come from the places that I've been and the things that I have done. Um, Mostly underwater, or things to do with the water, with the oceans, where I spent many years filming whales, filming all sorts of things of the ocean. And also the jungles. I spent a long time in the various jungles, primarily in South America. So my paintings reflect that. And I guess also to a certain degree, my memories of Cuba. Cuba, the countryside where I grew up, and which was my first love, and where I sort of learned to love and admire the wildlife. Cuba has a diverse and very rare, really, wildlife. And I spent a lot of time when I was even in my early teens. And I paint these. All of these are, my inspirations. So the memories of Cuba, my life in the water and under the water, and my life in the jungle. The style that I use is pretty much realistic, although it's not entirely. It's a little bit surrealistic, but um, I I paint with whatever I feel uh, meets the need. And what I mean by that is I do watercolors, I do pastels, I do charcoals, I do oils, acrylics, and I'm even dabbing now into sculpture. But um, it's really an evolution that I'm doing and that I'm going through. Perhaps an evolution that I should have been through when I was in my 20s, but because of my adventures or different things that I've done in life, that evolution is now um, beginning again. And I find myself in a transition where I'm doing a lot of different paintings um, of different things in different styles with different media, but it's coming together. And I guess what I'm interested in really is to evoke a feeling in my paintings where the viewer um, finds himself not only attracted to the painting, but also finds some inner feeling within the painting, whether it be the memories of Cuba that awaken other people like myself that used to live in Cuba, or people that have lived or dove in many parts of the world and the oceans. So, you know, my photography, of course, renders what it sees, what the camera sees, or what your eye sees. In the painting, you can go beyond that. You go to the feeling of the painting, of the place, of the subject, and it's something that I try to convey in the painting, whether it be through shape or color or subject. When I talk about some of the things that I paint, I want to point out, for example, when I'm doing paintings of the jungle, one of the things that have always been intriguing with me, or intriguing to me, is the legends of the jungle. The South American jungle, where you still have a lot of tribes that live in the jungle, are very superstitious, and they all have unique legends, which are really fascinating. So some of my paintings try to reflect that. I find in sort of a surrealistic atmosphere. I mean, they in themselves is a vanishing people, and these legends are going to be lost along with them. So my contribution to their existence, you might say, is to be able to convey somehow the feelings and the things that they believe in. And the legends is a perfect vehicle to be able to show that.